Leigh, thank you for seeing me today and catching up. And I just want to ask you a few questions. The first one is, what was it like coming to film the easy bit? What was it like coming into the studio and actually doing your interview?
Different. Never done anything like that before. Although I had a little stint at uni of doing a radio show, this is completely different. And obviously coming to the big city, being a West Country boy, is obviously always exciting. But yeah, it was uncomfortable. I've never been put in that situation before, so. But again, that's something I wanted to do. I'm always looking to push myself out of my comfort zone, in and out of work, if you like. So it was definitely something worthwhile doing.
Interesting. So what was it that made you kind of think, yeah, I want to go outside of my comfort zone and this is how I want to do it? What was it that piqued your interest?
I think mainly because of the message I was trying to convey is that it's generally uncomfortable for men to speak about their feelings. Although at that point I was quite comfortable with talking to people around me about that situation, actually putting it out there for a wider audience was frightening, to be honest, and worrying about what I was going to say and how it was going to come across when it was viewed and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think I just wanted to push myself into that out of comfort zone area so that somebody might be able to relate to it and then kind of see that there's a benefit to it.
Yeah, that's cool. I think a lot of the guys sort of felt like they weren't quite sure how it was going to go, but they just felt they needed to have a go and get that kind of, be the person that makes the charge, if you like, of like, here we are, we can talk about this stuff. Yeah,
exactly. I had absolutely no idea what was going to come out of me on that day. I still don't remember everything. I haven't seen the whole session that we had back, but I'm sure if I would be watching some bits through my fingers. But it was just raw emotion. It's good to get that sort of stuff out there. There's no point in us being here and talking about you must go out and talk to people or find your support and stuff, and it all being scripted and that sort of thing. So just to be put in that environment and the way that you were on the day, just opened me up anyway emotionally. So that was good.
That's good to hear, because that's what I wanted. It's I just want to represent what you guys have to say without trying to guide you or trying to I didn't want to put any kind of my own baggage onto you guys or any kind of I wasn't trying to get any particular reaction except your genuine reaction to events and things that happen and what you went through. So if you could give one piece of advice to guys who are going through it, what would you say to them?
So I'd say don't be afraid to seek whatever support you need. I'm not going to go and tell you that you have to go and speak to a psychologist or a counsellor or anything, because that might not be right for you. And take small steps as well. So confide in your best mate or whoever you feel comfortable to start with, and then try and widen the circle of support that you're looking for. It's not something to be ashamed of these days. There's lots of charities and organisations that are out there to help people with mental health, and speaking from experience, this sort of scenario can have a detrimental effect on your mental health if you're not seeking the support that you need. It's just going to wear you down, break you down, and I've seen far too much happen off the back of that in terms of relationships ending, work performance suffering, all that sort of stuff. So that's all I would say, is if you feel that you're not right and you're not comfortable with what's going on, you need either an outlet or you need somebody to listen to.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So on the flip side of it, what advice would you give to clinics or clinicians?
I think I said this before, obviously the female part of the couple, or somebody has to be the administrative patient. Understand all that's fine, but most of the time there is a couple being treated at the end of the day, whether it's myself or if it's none of the females, a same-sex partnership, whatever. The secondary patient needs to be looked after. Too often it's lack of eye contact, lack of asking questions to both parties. And certainly when it comes to our bit, there's a lot of uncomfortableness from the medical professional side. I don't know how they go about correcting that, but it's, you know, I think they just have to remember that the person they're asking to go and do that bit is, you know, 10 times more nervous than the person is asking them to go and do it. Also, I would ask them to think about their environment as well. It's not the easiest thing to have to do on command. No. You know, being stuck in a glorified toilet, as I think I described it as before, it just does not help.
No, not at all. Well, thank you so much for taking part in the documentary and like seeing me today. And you know, it's been a real pleasure kind of talking to you and hearing your story. So thank you very much, Leigh.
No, you're welcome, and thank you for asking me to be a part of it.